I really didn't want to make this video, but I think the truth has to be spoken. And Japanese people deserve to know the truth. If you're interested in what I'm talking about, you have to watch this video. But if you're not ready for unfiltered truth from foreigner perspective about Japanese mindset, then please don't watch this video because it might be a little bit too much for you, okay? I don't blame you for that, it's okay. But people have to know. You have to choose. I'm not gonna tell you what you have to do, okay? For those of you that don't know me, my name is Malvina. I come originally from Poland, but for the past 10 years, I lived in many different countries in Europe, and then I went to holiday in Thailand just for 2 weeks, but it happened that I met there my now Japanese husband, but I never wanted to live in Japan, and I am experiencing something that someone might describe as real life. Not the best life, but the real life. If you want to hang out for a little bit and get to know what I'm talking about, continue watching this video. Remember, this will completely shock you. If you ever glamorized Japan and if you ever wanted to come here because you thought that Japan is the dream country, you might definitely want to see this video. I'm gonna talk today about wa, harmony, or meiwaku or kakenai. In English, the art of not disturbing others. I don't know in what kind of social situations this actually proven its point, but for a Western type of mind, I think it might be a little bit weird. I don't want to offend anyone, like I said, but I'm gonna describe you some experiences of mine that really shaped my mind. I really wish that this harmony might be preserved in a little bit different way instead of the art of not disturbing others when they need help. I'm really thankful for all of your views, and thank you so much for all of your interest in my previous video that I'm gonna link here. If you haven't watched it already, please do so before continuing, because this is some sort of part 3 already to all of my thoughts, but I changed completely my scenery. As you can see, we're staying in this traditional house right now on a countryside in Japan that I'm so excited actually to stay here and to live here, because this is something totally different. And my perspective shifted a little bit. I don't want to lean you guys on, so let's move on to the video. Well, I come from Catholic country, so maybe you might think that I'm also a Catholic person, but not. I was always some kind of, well, I don't believe, this is another heavy topic, so I don't know if I should talk about it here or not. But I am not a Catholic person by heart. I believe that there is God or some sort of energy. This is agnosticism, or maybe something similar to Buddhism in one way or another. So I thought that Japanese people are very harmonious, and I didn't change my mind for that, of course. Japanese people are very kind and very polite in any way possible, to the moments that might shock foreigners, unfortunately. So this politeness, I'm sorry to say, might sometimes come across as a little bit fake. Yes, this politeness might across as a little bit fake, because there is nothing, people are just polite to each other, but when it comes to helping someone, especially a foreigner, speaking from my own experience, I'm sorry to say, but Japanese people are not very helpful. As far as I am concerned, and from what I experienced, and after conversation with my Japanese husband, I came to this conclusion, or maybe I try to understand Japanese people more and why they don't want to help in what I might think is this Western way of helping each other, just altruistically, you know, is taking initiative. So taking initiative in Japan is not really something that people aspire to do. They don't want to disturb anyone, so like you have to really read the room before entering any social gathering, even social situation like sitting on the train in Tokyo. So nobody intends to disturb anyone, and no one takes any initiative to start something or to end something or to help someone. It might result, unfortunately, in situations where you might be needing some help if you're a tourist here or if you're a foreigner like me living here. I don't know, maybe my case is not an exemplary one because not a lot of people in my situation would come to Japan, I think. Or yeah, maybe because of globalization or whatever. There's not a lot of people like me in Japan, unfortunately. And I'm not saying that this is wrong or this is good, but there is a reason for that, you know? Like, if you might need help on the train, I would not ask a Japanese person to help you. I'm really sorry to say that, but this is the truth. This being in harmony with everyone and reading the room sometimes lead to situations where Japanese people, just even when they see that someone needs to get help, they will not initiate giving help. To give you example, maybe to make it more clear, I saw a person struggling to come up the stairs, and I saw a lot of Japanese people just passing this person and not asking if it needs help. But of course, it was like an elderly man that had probably had some problems with his legs, or I don't know. This was like, the situation was that the guy was having some problems to go up the stairs and he needed some help. And what I noticed is that a lot of people pass him by. I come from the culture that this is normal for me, that some people would stop by and ask, like, just give him help, not even ask if he needs help, but to give him help, whether he says no or yes, you know. And I think this type of situations make Japanese people very uncomfortable because they don't know how to help. And I think in this Japanese harmony mindset, if you don't know how to help best, it's better not to do it at all because you will disturb this harmony. But in this case, I think it's not really working well, you know. Another type of situation that I was struggling with personally, maybe not everyone is going through similar emotions, but this is what I experienced is I was commuting in Tokyo from one station to another, and I had to take two different trains to get to my last location. And it was like, you have to imagine it was like an evening, and I was just having my Aikido class in the city center, and then I was going to my accommodation, and my phone died. I was alone, and I didn't remember exactly where I was staying because obviously I don't live in Tokyo, and we just moved in there for 1 week, and all of the names and locations in Tokyo are still pretty much new to me. So I didn't remember where we are staying, and it was just a horrible experience, I'm not gonna lie. So my phone died and I had to change trains. I was not sure even what station I should get out. This is of course my own fault as well because I forgot to take power bank with me. Normally I always have one, but this particular situation I didn't have any power bank. And also, like, mind you, like, I was going from sports activity, so the only things that I had in my bag were my sports clothes. I mean, I went to Aikido, so it was Aikido, you know, thing that you wear while doing Aikido, and yeah, water, and and only my phone. So I didn't even have a wallet with me. Yeah, I went to the sports class, so I didn't have to take one. I know how stupid I was that I thought that maybe by having my phone with me, I can pass through the city, but it was not the truth. So anyway, like in Tokyo, if you don't live in Tokyo, maybe you might know it or not. For iPhone, you can have your card while you're commuting on your phone. Suica card for foreigners, you can have it on your phone. So the only device that I had with me was my phone. So if my phone is not charged, I couldn't even exit the train station. You understand where I'm going to. So I got out of, like, I thought maybe this is, I will remember, even though I never took or changed train on this location, because mind you, Tokyo is huge. There is like 40 million people living there. And I was pretty lost, and I think I lost my mind a little bit by looking for someone that can help me. And my first thought is, okay, like people at the train station, maybe there is a chance that they speak a little bit of English. Without phone, I think it's very difficult for me to communicate with Japanese people. And I think strangers just in general don't come to, like, Japanese people don't come to each other and they don't talk, especially not in Tokyo. So I come to a person that worked in at the shop at this particular station, and I asked her like, hey, do you have maybe a charger so I can charge my phone? Of course, she didn't understand what I was talking about because she didn't understand English, unfortunately. So I tried to explain by showing like, hey, this is my phone, you see, it doesn't work. I need this to get home. And she couldn't help me in any way. She just told me that there is this charger that I can buy, but I didn't have any money on me because, like I said, I went to the sports activity and the only device that I had was my phone, and on my phone was everything. And before you will blame me that this is my fault, that I should have thought about charging my phone, well, shit like this happens to people, especially to people maybe like me that have ADHD. Anyway, I would never think that this will be such a big issue, actually. So she proposed me that I can buy this power bank, but of course I didn't have any cash. I had like 100 yen coin for a locker in this in the dojo. So that's it. That's all the money that I had with me. Other money I had was on my phone, because on my phone I also have my credit card linked. And she didn't have her charger. Maybe she didn't take it for home. But then I asked the guy that worked, like when you come into metro or train and you get out of metro, there is always a person that works there. And I asked this guy, like, listen, I'm in trouble, like I have to charge my phone because I don't remember where I stayed and I need to change one more train to get back to my location. And he literally screamed at me. I was shocked, In this moment, I was like, what is really happening here? Like, I just asked for help. Why is he screaming at me? So in this moment, after first rejection of this lady and after this guy started screaming at me, of course, obviously in the language that I don't understand, I started crying. And then I came back to this lady in the shop and I asked again, like, maybe you don't understand, but I really need to charge my phone to get back home. And of course she didn't understand it. I was standing there crying, making a big scene for Japanese people. I think it was out of their mind that someone might have a problem and nobody can help me. And I was like, what is happening, And there was this foreigner guy that was crossing my path, and I just asked him for help in this moment. But before that, no Japanese person stopped. No one tried to help me in any way. And this I saw straight away that this person that was crossing my path is not Japanese. So I asked, like, do you speak English? Can you please help me? And this very kind person just bought me this power bank, and he asked for my Instagram or whatever. We exchanged social media so I can pay him back as soon as I get back home. And this is exactly what happened. So he was so kind to buy me this power bank, and within like 1 minute, not even, my phone started working again and I found my way back and I got back home. That's it. And this whole situation would have never happened if, yeah, of course I took my power bank, but oh my god, like I would never expect that I will get so lost and nobody will be able to help me in a situation like this. I'm really shocked, guys. What do you think about this situation? Like, what would it be like in your own country if you're watching it as a foreigner as well? Would someone help you? Like, I think if it happened to me, maybe in Belgium, I think someone would, if they had power bank, they would lend me power bank for like brief moment for 1-2 minutes until it's charged, or if I went to the shop, someone will just charge my phone a little bit and help me. But unfortunately it didn't happen in Tokyo, so that was a horrible experience, horrible experience. After one day, the next day, I just couldn't get out of the house, force myself to get out of the house because the situation really, I was just speechless, you know? I was just speechless what happened to me. But anyway, maybe this is just me, maybe this is my ADHD, but guys, like, this is not how you help people. And I don't want to rant about everyone in Japan, but just like, yeah, this is this one part that really doesn't stick with me. Now I understand where it might come from, but it's just very painful sometimes. I think this was a few days after I recorded my previous video about what I was experiencing after living in Japan for 1 month. Already struggling, but after this I just got out of the house and my partner tried to accommodate me, but also we were leaving in a couple of days, like I think in 2 or 3 days we were just leaving the country to United States. Just pull myself together and survived it, but I think this was exactly the moment where I needed to leave Japan for just a while to calm down and experience something different and get my hope in society back, because this experience really trashed me. After that I didn't really want to go back to Japan. Of course, you might imagine that, and everyone is very polite and kind in some way, but in that way that you expect them to be kind. Or maybe they are, in my opinion, Japanese people are very polite and kind, but not very helpful, and that's it. So this is like, especially you see that in Tokyo, this is very individualistic, and everyone there thinks only about themselves, because I think they are forced to think about themselves. Like there is 38 million people living in Tokyo. It's like the whole, you know, it's like population of Poland, just for comparison. And I might imagine that it comes from that there is too many people living in Tokyo and everyone have very small apartments, and right now apparently small salaries, and everyone is stressed and going to work. Like, I had one friend as well, one Japanese friend, asking me jokingly, of course, like, if you wanna get really burned out, just go work as a salaryman in Shibuya for a week and then we can talk. And of course he was joking, but it kind of hit me, because this like compliance of all of the Japanese people that I saw in Tokyo, like at some moments, it's like, especially around Tokyo Station, when I saw young salarymen, it like everyone was wearing white shirt and dark pants and had black hair. Obviously everyone was looking the same, everyone looked the same. So I felt like totally out of context, because I just came back from United States again to Japan, and obviously I have blonde hair and I was wearing different clothes, so of course I stick out from this society. It's very homogeneous society, but I felt like I'm in Matrix or somewhere because everyone looked the same, and I felt so taken out of this image, like I'm just breaking this image, you know? This crazy European, probably they think I'm American, I don't know, like, but wow, guys. I experienced so much kindness and helpfulness from people living on the countryside of Japan than from these big cities. Actually, like Tokyo in particular. Yeah, like the mindset. I think it's just very sad that people in Tokyo are so, I don't know, overworked, burnout, or what causes that meanness, you know, what causes why they act like this. And it's just really painful for me to see, and I wish that, I don't know what have to change, but of course my opinion will not change anything, but I wish that for all of the people, actually, I wish that we can be just a little bit more helpful towards each other, even if there is no gain from that, no price, you know, no money. It doesn't matter. As long as we can live together and help each other, as a society we will thrive. We have to think about what is really important in life, because I don't think it's money, and I don't think it's your career, you know, like in the end we are just human species. And yeah, I think we lost something in the way, like especially by staying in Tokyo for this time, I really saw that. And maybe by going to Aikido class, it really stick with me, because I don't know if you know, guys, Aikido is it's not even a martial art, it's a Budo. It's a practice of harmonies. It's like walking meditation. It's not fighting, it's not to fight someone, it's not to fight with, it's not to defend, it's just to bring peace. And it really sticks with me, like the philosophy of Aikido. It's not so easy for me to talk about this because actually I saw this tweet lately on X, or it was a comment from one of the videos that I saw. Maybe if I will find it, I will paste it here. Like, Japan lives in 2000, in the year 2000, since 1980. And it really stick with me, you know. This is very funny because Japanese technology was really top notch. It was the best economy in the world in 80s. But then since 2000, I think something went wrong, and I don't know what happened to people, but maybe it's anyway, like, please help me understand that. Why also, yeah, if you have any warm words for me or how I should look at it, please let me down in the comment, because I honestly, I feel so out of place here, and this is the truth. I'm trying to adapt, and I think I'm doing pretty well with that. But to open Japanese mind, it takes so much. It takes so much. I think it should be a little bit easier, or anyway, just because of that, just because of how different I am. And in my previous videos, if you haven't watched it already, please, I'm telling you again, this is the link. I'm also vegan, and my life is not the most ordinary life, and I'm not saying it to brag about my life, but I'm just saying it because this is the truth. I'm not living the salaryman life anymore, and my life has never been as it should be, for whatever standards, wherever you might be growing up, be stick in your head. And yeah, maybe this is my mission, to just come here and come as I am, and to maybe try to build this bridge between Japan and the rest of the world, and to let you guys know that some of the behaviors maybe might be working very well, but they might be working very well if you want to stay stuck, if you want to grow, and if you want to develop yourself. And if you want to be so innovative as you used to be, I think you have to get out of this shell. And we all, not only Japanese people, but we all have to took one step out of our comfort zone at the time, and beautiful things will happen. Actually, I wanted to make this video about something different, but it took me already almost 30 minutes or 20 minutes to talk about Japanese mindset, so I will focus on that. I want to say it like this. I really appreciate Japanese tradition, and I think because it was always such a harmonious country, looking at geography, because it's just an island on the far east, there's so much tradition, and there is so much craft that it was created by generations and generations. So Japanese people are very good in keeping the traditions and having this mind for like excellence, you know what I mean? And they always think that, in my opinion, there's always something to improve, right? Like in Kaizen, I used to work as consultant, and one of my clients was a Japanese company, and they really had this Kaizen mindset in the company. So no matter what you did, there was always room for improvement. So this craft that you are making, this product that you are designing, there's always something that you can improve. But for some reason, for Japanese mind, it doesn't work. So it works for your craft, like you can create something more excellent, but the way how you do it, like it doesn't change your mind. Like, I don't know, maybe I am also mixing right now just regular society of Japan, like regular conversations and everyday life and work life, which might be very different, and unfortunately I don't know how it is. But I was a consultant for a Japanese company, so I got a little bit of a taste how it might feel like, but of course in Europe, so here it's just totally different. So how is it, why is it like there are so many companies with such exquisite taste and craft and always doing something better, but yeah, the mind of people is not changing. Guys, this is like really, it's really striking me. Sorry for changing my position a little bit, but right now I am in this traditional house, as you can see, and we are staying in this room, and we only have tatami floor. If you want, guys, I can make a video and like a house tour video, because I think it might be very interesting, especially for foreigners, how it looks living in a house like this. But yeah, we don't have any chairs, right? There is only tatami floor. I'm still getting used to that. So yeah, this Japanese mindset that I was talking about, I don't know what went wrong and what kind of area of life is that, but what do you think? Like, do you think Japan is just perfect as it is, and you know, like living in harmony, and sometimes leading to situations that someone needs help but not helping them is a recipe for success, or it just works for Japanese people, and that they're so individualistic and they don't need anyone anymore, especially in Tokyo? Or maybe it went a little bit too far. What do you think? Please let me know. I'm very curious. Let me know in the comment. And of course, yeah, I don't want to offend anyone. Like I said, I'm just saying it out of my experience, and I'm just saying whatever comes to my mind right now. So this is unfiltered truth, like I said. And yeah, let me know, guys. I'm really curious, and I hope I put it in a very, well, it's not very brief format, but it's very exhausting, let's say, exemplary way. Yeah, there's a lot of amazing things in Japan, but for a foreigner, like, I think this is the biggest culture shock that someone might experience by coming to live here. Like, this just just this mindset, like as long as everyone, like I said, bureaucracy is top notch in Japan. Or maybe I didn't say it, like bureaucracy from bureaucratic point of view and from all of the rules that were ever recorded in the history, everything is top notch. So as long as you have a paper and you sign everything, like in your documents, like your first, your second name, if you have one as a foreigner, you know what I'm talking about. Or if you don't, yeah, Japanese people don't have second names, so sometimes it might cause a lot of problems. Anyway, your first name, your second name, your last name, like if you write everything as it appears on your documents, you will never have any problems because it's very smooth. There's many people working in the city office or city ward that will always help you, so nobody will ever experience any issues there. However, if there is a problem, you're fucked. No, I'm joking. You're not fucked, but if you have a problem, then there is a problem, and maybe it might not be solved as you imagine it to be solved. And I had this conversation earlier with my partner exactly about this, and he explained to me, like, from geographical point of view, Japan was always far east and it never had any war, and nobody ever invaded Japan as invaded Poland, for example. Like, this is where Second World War started, because Germany invaded Poland, and Japan actually is where Second World War ended, right? Yes. But there was no there was never someone that there was no attack from any way. So Japanese mindset, craft, everything was very peaceful, and Japanese people could focus on things like art or farm or what have you. And there was never a problem. So maybe this comes just from history. This is the historical reason why Japanese people may not be able to solve problems when they appear, and if there is no written solution to them, because they never had to, you know? They never had to. So I think for maybe some of the Japanese people, they still think that as long as foreigners don't come here, we don't have any problems. But yeah, like in 2025, Japanese economy is not the best in the world anymore. And I think maybe one of the reasons for that is that for this, like, if foreigners don't come to Japan, we don't have any problem. Anyway, of course, not every country is for everyone. If you don't want to come here, don't. If you want to come here, probably you will have the best time of your life. This is my experience from living here. So I'm not here as a tourist. I was never interested in Japan, and these are just situations that happened to me personally. I'm from Poland, like I said before, and I married this crazy Japanese man. Okay, he's not crazy, I'm joking. But he's not a regular salaryman or what have you, to put it like this. And right now, like I said before, we were staying in this beautiful house on the countryside of Japan, and I'm so happy and excited to be here. I don't have so many bad experience with people here. One reason for that might be because I don't see a lot of people, because there's not a lot of people here. But another reason is, I don't know, maybe people have slower life here, and this constant rush and adrenaline is not really here. I don't know. But mind you, I also visited another countryside of Japan, and we stayed at the house of friends of my partner and their family. So for me, total strangers, they were so kind and so helpful with everything. I'm vegan, and they tried to accommodate my food choice, and they were so sweet. I was so grateful for everything that happened for me there. Like, they were like really hospitable, like especially the older lady, and I'm very grateful and honored to be there. Like really, I felt all of the warmth of these people. But in Tokyo, no. And like, just for point of reference, like I told you, I lived in many different countries, and I just came back from New York. New York is like one of the biggest cities as well in terms of innovation, but it's a free city. And I heard before going to New York that New Yorkers might come across too direct or a little bit mean, but no, they are so helpful. Maybe there is more homeless people on the street. You will never see that in Japan because they don't have this problem, right? And but people were so nice, like in everyday life situation. Like we hopped on a train, metro with my partner that was going in the opposite direction where we were going to. We were supposed to go downtown, and this train was going uptown, and I was like, and we didn't have like the best internet on the train, so there was a lady sitting next to us, older lady, and she was like, guys, like, do you have any problem, like maybe I might help you because I live here. So she told us where we have to go to change train to go exactly to where we were going, like very downtown. And then there was another guy, like just total stranger, and he was almost fight, like they were not fighting, but he was like, oh no, maybe they should get off another train station, it would be easier so they don't have to pay money. And they had discussion with themselves like, where should we get off for us to have the best option, you know? It's like for total strangers. And oh my god, this, like after being in Japan for 1 month and a half, it was like, wow, people can be very helpful in the other parts of the world. So I'm gonna leave you with this, and thank you so much for listening to me. I think this is very unfiltered, not diplomatic way of saying things. So if I offended you, please, I didn't intend to. I'm really sorry if I did, but let me know what you think about this. And if you experience something similar like I did, and if you have any hope words for me, please let me know down in the comments. I will greatly appreciate it. And yeah, and we just started this another beautiful chapter with my partner on the countryside of Japan, and I will be happy to just sit here and reflect and make videos for you guys. So thank you so much for watching. This is Malvina from Malvina Island. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this type of content, or if you want to see more of my content living in Japan as a person that I am. And subscribe, please don't forget to subscribe. We are almost 1,000 subscribers. Oh my god, I would never think that my channel will grow so much. This is just like my outlet to tell you what I'm thinking, and of course I'm listening to you, so let me know what do you think and what kind of content you would like to continue watching. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.